Da 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 da. What is ESPN's content vision these days? Netflix has a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery for $83 billion. That's like $100 for Ted Sarandos. How is sports impacted? Max Kellerman versus Stephen A. Craig Carton back on the Fan, and we got loads of football. It's Marchand and Meterparel. Everybody loves sports media. I'm John Meterparel. He is Andrew Marchand. What's up, Marchand?
We're going to go deep about the Bomani Jones comment last week's main event. A lot of people listened to that one. The thing I'd like to say, just bottom lining it, to me in context, I think Bomani got a lot right. I think when you look at the current landscape, the world has changed. Back in the day, ESPN maybe could develop stars, and they've developed some people, Malika Andrews, Laura Rutledge, Dan Orlovsky, Marcus Spears. But in terms of their big shows, they really kind of have gone the free agent route with Pat McAfee. And then you look at on Monday Night Football, first they got Peyton and Eli, then Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You look at their Get Up now, Bussin' with the Boys are big guests. And they have internal people. And it's not unusual for places to look outside. But in terms of developing, I think that the term that really kind of got everyone's attention, that they have no new ideas. I mean, I do think that they kind of look at it. Stephen A. I think Scott Van Pelt has a very good chance at 5 o'clock. You got McAfee doing game day, and then obviously from 12 to 2, and Mike Greenberg. And so those are kind of the core, and you got PTI. So we'll get deeper into that, but I think ESPN's vision for content, I've been saying forever, they should be focusing on games. That's what they have, maybe the best portfolio in sports history. That's what I'd be selling.
For me at ESPN, I grew up when they were in their heyday, of course. It was Patrick and Oberman. It was Chris Berman. It started with Berman for me, but right now it's Kevin Connors and everybody else.
Kevin Connors is good. He is a star for sure. He's one of those guys who just does everything right for 20 years. And so we all appreciate Kevin Connors on baseball and Sports Center, basketball, football. He does it all.
And he's the best basketball playing anchor they have.
That is a good question. He was a D3. He was a D3 star. I don't know star. He should have gotten more playing time. Tom Baker. We'll get to that. Anyways, this week we're gonna do Netflix. We'll do some Netflix today, but I got John Orand as my guest for the main event, so we'll probably go deeper on Netflix and all that, what that means for sports. We'll do a little bit on that. An Schroeder is my guest for Off the Record with me, Andrew Marchand, presented by WSC Sports. That's in Midtown this Thursday afternoon. If you haven't signed up, please do. We'll try to make room for you, and that's in the show notes. You can easily sign up. We're presented by WSC Sports, digital asset management, a library that gets sports. You got a highlight you need from a couple weeks ago. You need a Kevin Connors highlight from Ithaca College. They just call it up AI, digital asset management, your league, your team, your network. You got to use it. Check it out at WSC-sports.com. Twice weekly podcast. Last week, Bomani Jones. This week, John Orand. By Tuesday and Thursday. Usually you come out Monday and Wednesday afternoon, but you get it by Tuesday and Thursday, AndrewMarchand.com.
All right. What is up in your world, Marchand?
My what's up is Fox's hiring of Rebecca Lowe for their World Cup coverage. Lowe is one of the best studio people in any sport, but she's particularly good at soccer. Her work with NBC on the Premier League is top notch. What they do so well, NBC with soccer and the Premier League, is they treat it with respect. They treat the audience with respect. And what I mean by that is you're tuning in for soccer. And we're long past teaching us about offsides, but they've been doing it more than a decade now, NBC, and led by Lowe, and it just feels big, and it's understandable even if you don't know everything about soccer. Kate Scott went to CBS full time. That was a good hire by CBS. So Rebecca Lowe on loan from NBC to Fox for the World Cup. Great hire.
All right, and my what's up is one Greg Olson from Fox. Seems like he's been a what's up a lot here in the last month or so, but here's why he's a what's up this week. I watched the Bengals-Bills game. Now, that was a panoramic snow globe, shocker in Buffalo, but those games are not easy to broadcast. I've done a few of those, not on television, but on radio especially. I find them a little bit difficult. A, sometimes it's hard to see the yard line. B, your level of sight gets all blurred. I know he's surrounded by HD cameras everywhere, and he has many, many people helping him. But he made it digestible for the audience. He's an accessible broadcaster. Even though he analyzes plays better than anybody, he really gets it down to an average fan's level so that they can understand it. And if you're watching with someone who doesn't know football, I think he'll make it easier for you to understand. So it's a film room breakdown pretty much every week, and Tom Brady's doing a really good job of that as well. I think he had a good Sunday too, but Greg Olsen had a big time Sunday in my book.
And my colleague Richard Deitch in The Athletic a couple of years ago wrote about how how the broadcast during a snow game and what they do behind the scenes. All right, my What's Down World Cup selection show. The whole thing, what a joke from start to finish. It went forever. It was panned everywhere. Let me just put this out there. Wayne Gretzky reading names kind of lays it out, I think, for everybody. Let's just take a quick listen here.
Okay, we got the winner, Denmark, North Macedonia, Czechia, Republic of Ireland. Caraco.
Jordan.
All right. Do I need to say more? I mean, that's where we were. It went forever. U.S. did get a good draw, so that was the good news. All right, what do you got? What's down, John?
New Delhi. No, my what's down. My what's down is Alex Rodriguez, the A-Rod documentary on HBO Max. I'm a huge doc guy. You know that. I love any sports documentary. I will watch. I will lap it up. I really wanted to like this. I was intrigued by it. I thought it was an interesting concept. But A-Rod, I just can't wrap my hands around whether he is authentic, whether he really has changed. I know you dealt with him a lot. Dallas Braden had, I think, the greatest line ever about Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez could go taste himself again. That was, and that's something, it's self-aggrandizing. He just can't get out of that box. He just seems very fake to me. And I know, look, it was a documentary. It was all staged. It was done by, I believe, Tom Brady's production and Michael Strahan's production group. They did a good job. I mean, production-wise, fine. But A-Rod, it was just uncomfortable to watch.
I think Bomani last week, he talked about how Netflix, in his opinion, has ruined documentaries. I think, that's a perfect example. When you're involved as an executive producer, you're just not going to get everything. And that's the problem with these docs. And even if you have, if you have a friendly production company like Brady and Chopra and Strahan, I don't know if you're going to get the full story. I didn't watch that one. But I lived it. Yeah, I lived it. So I don't know if I'll need to watch it. Maybe if someone told me it was really good, I'd watch it. To listen to the rest of the podcast, AndrewMarchand.com, AndrewMarchand.com. It's a great present for anybody for the holidays. Feel free to share that, AndrewMarchand.com, twice weekly podcasts.
All right, let's go into our questions. Bomani Jones' main event last week drew a lot of attention. Bomani was tremendous. You guys had great chemistry. Let's listen to one of his comments, and I want to understand your point of view of this. Here's the clip.
They used to be kind of like MTV in the 80s, and they were notorious for this in the sense that they weren't paying people a whole lot of money because they felt like we make stars, right? Like, you want more money, you go ahead, we'll get somebody else. Like, think about what happened with Dan Patrick, which I guess is now probably like 15 years ago.
And more than that, yeah.
Yeah, like, we'll go find another one of you. Is not that big a deal. They can't do that anymore. Like, the idea that Stephen A. Smith makes $20 million a year would have been ridiculous not that long ago. They would have told him or anybody else, oh, we'll just go find another of you. No, they don't think they can do that anymore. And the people that they're bringing on that are new, I'll say McAfee for purposes of this discussion counts as new. You mentioned the Bussin' with the Boys guys that now come on. It's all people who already have their own thing somewhere else. They're out of ideas, or at the very least, nobody is in the business of coming up with new ideas.
All right, what do we make of that? Do you think